Golf has been part of the next speaker's life forever. He designs golf courses, builds golf courses, maintains golf courses, and plays golf courses. He loves to start the week with a walk along the coast and a coffee whenever he gets the chance. Me, a tall story, please welcome Jeff Lane.
I'm really sorry everyone, but I really can't give my tall story tonight. You see, it's not that I haven't prepared anything, but unfortunately, a few days ago, my life changed quite suddenly and quite dramatically. And I found out that the woman I've been married to for the past 30 years has been cheating on me. But you know, rather than cancel, I thought I'd come along here tonight and amongst friends, I'd tell you what happened, and hopefully this will begin the healing process that I now have to go through. So my wife and I met about 30 years ago at Joondalup Golf Course. She booked in to play with a girlfriend of hers who unfortunately got called into work at the last minute. And I was due to play about 15 minutes later with a couple of mates. And unfortunately they got tangled up in a car accident on the way there. So there we were, both on our own, and the golf pro said to us, look, why don't you two pair up and go have a game? So that's what we did. And we headed down to the first tee, and I never forget those words she said to me when we got to the first tee. Would you like to play for $10? And I said, yeah, sure. So I proceeded to hit off the blue men's tees, and then she went down forwards and hit off the women's red tees. And if some of you don't know golf at all, men play off the blue tees, which are further back because they generally hit the ball further, and the women play from the red tees. Well, not only did she win the $10 off me that day, but she also won my heart. And 18 months later, we were married. And every year since then, we've always celebrated our wedding anniversary at Joondalup Resort, trying to relive that moment we first met. Every year, for 30 years, we go back to Joondalup for the weekend. We always start by playing 18 holes of golf. We always play for $10. I always play from the blue men's tees. She's always playing from the red women's tees. And I've got to tell you, Joondalup, those women's red tees are about 70 or 80 metres further forward. So it's no wonder that she has won the $10 every year for the past 30 years. But we always have a great time. Well, last weekend was our 30th wedding anniversary. And as always, we went back to Joondalup Resort for the weekend. As always, we played golf first. We always played for $10, so we played for $10 again. I played from the blue tees at the back, and she played from the women's red tees down forward, which were a long way forward. And like she has done for the last 30 years, she won the $10 again. But we went and we finished our game. We checked into our hotel room. We got showered, came downstairs. We had a few cocktails by the pool. We had the most amazing dinner ever. And then we grabbed a bottle of champagne, went back to our hotel room, had the most amazing night ever. And the next morning we're downstairs having breakfast, and I said, Michelle, you've been such an amazing wife. But I've got this small confession I'd like to make. You see, just after we met, I had to go away for work, and I had a one-night stand. And although we weren't really going out, I always felt a bit guilty. And she said, forget it, Jeff, we weren't going out, it's fine. I said, you are incredible, Michelle. She said, look, I've got a confession of my own to make. I said, whatever it is, I don't care. I don't care. She said, well, about 7 years before we met, I was actually a man. She said, and I had a sex change. My name was Michael, and I changed my name to Michelle. And it wasn't until I met you about 7 years later that I completely and totally felt like a woman. I said, you've been cheating on me for 30 years? She said, what do you mean? I said, every year for 30 years you've been cheating. Every year for 30 years you've been taking $10 off me. And you should have been playing off the blue tees.